Thorstein Veblen's Conspicuous Consumption, a look at luxury and society. Thorstein Veblen was a sociologist and economist who made some fascinating observations about society and human behavior, especially when it comes to how we spend our money. One of his most famous ideas is what he called conspicuous consumption. While the term might sound academic, the concept is actually very relatable and can be seen in everyday life. It is all about the ways people buy things not just to use them, but to show off their wealth and status. Veblen wrote about this in his groundbreaking book, The Theory of the Leisure Class, published in 1899. Let us explore this idea in simple terms and see how it still applies to the modern world. Imagine someone who buys a luxury car, not because they need to get from one place to another, but because they want to show everyone that they can afford something expensive. That is conspicuous consumption in action. It is not about utility or practicality. Instead, it is about signaling to others, "Look at me. I have money, and I can spend it however I want." According to Veblen, this kind of behavior is especially common among the wealthy, but it can also trickle down to people who are not rich, as they aspire to mimic the habits of those above them on the social ladder. The concept is rooted in the idea of social status. In every society, people tend to form hierarchies, and wealth often plays a significant role in determining where someone fits into these structures. By spending money on visible symbols of affluence, individuals can demonstrate their position in society or at least pretend to belong to a higher status group. For example, think about designer clothing, high-end watches, or luxury vacations. While these items may have practical purposes, their appeal often lies in their ability to communicate wealth and sophistication to others. Veblen coined the term conspicuous consumption to describe this kind of spending because it is meant to be noticed. The word conspicuous means something that stands out and draws attention. People engaging in conspicuous consumption want others to see and admire their possessions. This desire for recognition can be incredibly powerful, shaping everything from personal choices to entire industries. One interesting aspect of Veblen's theory is that it is not just about buying things. It is also about using them in ways that highlight their value. For instance, someone might purchase an expensive wine not because they enjoy its taste, but because it allows them to host a dinner party, where guests will be impressed by their refined taste and financial means. Similarly, a person might buy a large house not because they need the space, but because it signals success and prosperity to the outside world. Veblen also pointed out that conspicuous consumption is closely tied to what he called the leisure class. This is a group of people who do not need to work for a living because they have enough wealth to support themselves without effort. For them, displaying their wealth through extravagant purchases becomes a way of life. However, Veblen's insights are not limited to this group. In today's world, many people engage in conspicuous consumption regardless of their income level. Social media has amplified this phenomenon. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have become showcases for conspicuous consumption. Influencers and everyday users alike post pictures of their vacations, luxury goods, and lavish lifestyles. The goal is often to create an image of success and desirability, even if that image does not reflect reality. In some cases, people go into debt to maintain appearances, illustrating how deeply the need for social validation can impact financial decisions. Modern marketing strategies also capitalize on the idea of conspicuous consumption. Companies understand that people want to buy products that elevate their social status, so they market items as exclusive, premium, or luxurious. For instance, a smartphone might cost significantly more than another model with similar features simply because it is associated with a prestigious brand. Buyers are not just paying for the product, they are paying for the social signal it sends. Veblen's theory is not just a critique of individual behavior, it also highlights broader societal trends. He argued that conspicuous consumption contributes to economic inefficiency because resources are directed toward producing luxury goods rather than meeting essential needs. For example, the fashion industry spends vast amounts of money on advertising and branding to create demand for high-end items, even as many people around the world struggle to afford basic clothing. This imbalance reflects the priorities of a society driven by status rather than practicality. Despite being over a century old, Veblen's ideas remain highly relevant. Conspicuous consumption is evident in various aspects of contemporary life, from the cars we drive to the gadgets we use and the vacations we take. It is not inherently bad to enjoy nice things, but Veblen encourages us to think critically about our motivations. Are we buying something because it truly enhances our lives, or are we trying to impress others? This question can lead to a deeper understanding of our values and priorities. Interestingly, there has also been a counter-movement against conspicuous consumption in recent years. Minimalism, for example, advocates for living with fewer possessions and focusing on experiences rather than material goods. Similarly, the sustainability movement encourages consumers to make choices that are better for the environment rather than simply status-driven. These trends suggest that while conspicuous consumption is pervasive, it is not the only way to approach spending and lifestyle. Ultimately, Veblen's concept of conspicuous consumption offers a valuable lens through which to view our own behavior and the world around us. It challenges us to consider how much of what we buy is about meeting our needs versus projecting an image. By being mindful of these dynamics, we can make more intentional choices that align with our true values and contribute to a more balanced society. If you found this explanation of Thorstein Veblen's conspicuous consumption insightful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us create more content that dives deep into fascinating topics like this one. Thank you for watching, and let us know in the comments what you think about Veblen's ideas and how they relate to today's world.